It's funny that we're talking about this because fraud is like a big issue with title these days. They have the tax records, they know the size, they know who the neighbors are, right? And a lot of times, if it's raw land, they may, so it's even sometimes even with a house, you may or may not ever see these people, right? Like that's just a world we're in today where we can have a transaction and you never see that person. And I want to ask you, Peter, like, what have y'all seen as far as like fraud goes with title and people claiming to own a piece of property and wanting to sell it?
The biggest issue that we've seen lately is just like you mentioned, a scam that's out there right now. This is what you're looking for. It's going to be vacant property. It's probably going to be owned by an LLC, and it's going to be a quick turnaround cash sale. And so ultimately, what's happening is someone will attempt to list property, and a purchaser will come in to buy it cash. And kind of like you were mentioning, there's discussion. They're trying to trick them. Hey, I've got multiple offers. I'm only accepting cash offers. We need to close 5 days. You can get a steal on this property. So they're really sweetening the deal, but trying to get it done quickly. And the reason why is because they can forge documents showing that they, let's say, are representatives of that LLC or corporation or company that owns the property. And then they can submit that to a title company like us. Now, the purchaser is in good faith giving money to us. And then ultimately, it's we need to do our due diligence to try to determine if these individuals actually own the property. But if we're being provided with, let's say, company resolutions that match, the Secretary of State records, it's difficult.
So the paperwork is good to go.
That's right. And then these individuals, they have their own notaries, they're out-of-state notaries, right? And they can forge these documents. So one thing that we're kind of keeping an eye on is quick cash sales owned by LLCs where we never see the seller. That's big red flags because that's just something that is kind of maybe like a new way that people are figuring out how to scam buyers.
Because I've actually heard of instances where they've actually closed, meaning people have paid like a good amount of money for property that they think that is available for, and this person who could be overseas, for God's sake, now just made off with $50,000.
It was around Lake Charles. It was in Jeff Davis Parish, and this individual came in on a Friday. Of course, it was kind of close to 2020 when things were still just a mess. Courthouses were kind of shut down, and so filing was difficult. But basically, this individual came to our office. He sold land, 15,000. Nothing too big. And then he immediately went to another office and sold it again. And it was a good investor client of ours who was the purchaser. And what ended up happening is the other company that closed the deal ran to the courthouse. It kind of seemed like an inside job and filed first. And so when we filed our paperwork and our client went to basically the home to go start gutting it, he was met with somebody who they were ready. There was somewhat of an inside job on this. They had their paperwork ready. They said, we own this home already. Here's the signature. And so my client reached out to us and said, hey, what's going on? Now, fortunately, there are layers of protection that my client had. He's an investor, and he took our advice and he purchased something called title insurance, which ultimately protected him. He got his money back, which is good.
So, but that person that do that, can he go to jail for
Absolutely.
Okay.
This person had already left the state, and we filed a police report. But the likelihood of my client getting that money back, again, cash sale, if he hadn't done a title exam and hadn't purchased title insurance policy, he'd be out 15 grand, which for anybody, take it.
And I say,
Wait, did you feel like they really did have another offer?
Yeah, I feel like but the thing is, when I thought about it now, I felt so the house has been in the market for a while, but then So I was supposed to go see the house on Thursday, but I didn't, and went see it on Monday. But on Saturday they had an open house, so where everybody come looking at the house. I was like, stop everything, I want this house, right? But then we make an offer, and then even though I didn't want to spend that amount of money, but I love the house so much, I said, But so she make the offer, I think it was like $275. I don't remember the number.
Had you been watching that house, or it had just got on your radar?
I think I probably maybe like, I don't say it's been probably like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But when I went in, it's just like you was like.
So this is what happens. This is what usually happens, right? So they probably did a price adjustment, right? It got on your radar because of the price point you were at, right? Because like you said, it had been on the market.
Yeah.
So then they do a price adjustment, they do an open house, and now we get multiple offers, right? And you're like, the hell, it's been on the market for like 6 months.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody had some interest. No, it's because they finally priced it well enough to sell. So now you get more than
So
one
when they said
buyer for
$275, and then they said somebody else make an offer. So do you want to increase your offer? I'm like, how much the offer? They can't. They said they can't tell me, and I felt like, to me that sounds fishy. Like, why you can't tell me? Tell me the person says $290. I say, okay, I don't know if I can do it. Maybe $291 or something like that. Yeah. So let's bid on it. But you said no, you can't.
But your agent didn't have the listing though, right? So your agent didn't have that listing, correct?
She did have the listing.
Oh, your agent also was the agent that was listed?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so chances are they don't know.
They don't know. She said, I'm not supposed to know, but in the back of my mind, I felt like, I was being played. But, I still was stuck on that. I felt like, there is no way. Why you can't tell me?
It sounds like he's still stuck on that.
Oh, yeah.
This still comes up?
No, I'll let it go now. You know what I mean? Yeah,
well,
I don't know more.
Yeah,
the only problem I had.
Do you really feel like some agents really be bluffing? Like, I've never bluffed on a negotiation. Like, we strategically do things a certain way.